greatness of Darlington. There's something very fascinating about coming back to the birthplace of a sport, and literally that's what we have here. This is the world's first super speedway. I remember, Jack, the first time you came here, you just really couldn't believe Darlington.
Well, it is so totally different. You know, Bill, I've raced in 5 different continents around the world, but there's nowhere like Darlington. You know, the infield here at Darlington is very special. The people who come here, it's really a sort of county fair atmosphere. It's not even a state fair. It's smaller than that, more rural. The people have been coming here for decades. The same people keep coming every year, and that's the way that it should be. It's a sort of family outing. The motor racing, well, of course it's here, but motor racing's more than cars and drivers. It's the ambience, it's the event. And this is a great event. I hope we're going to be coming back here for many more years.
Well, it certainly has the flavor, and a man who has the flavor in the pits for us on all of our events in motorsports is Chris Economaki. So let's join him for an observation.
The contestants of today's Southern 500 have got an unbelievable bonus, an unexpected bonus. It's end of summer weather. It's 80 degrees. That's cool. It's almost cold by Darlington standards. This will help considerably on the track. It won't be as tough at the wheel today as it has been in the past.
All right, Chris, the cars are halfway through the pace lap, so let's set the field. On the inside of row 1, car 03, David Pearson, who set a qualifying record of 155.7 miles per hour. Next to him in car number 11, Darrell Waltrip, the leading money winner coming into this race. Row 2, number 88, Bobby Allison on the inside pole of 2, and he is the current point leader coming into the Southern 500. Joe Ruttman, a Californian, in car number 75 on the outside of row 2. Row 3, Dale Earnhardt, who won the Rebel race earlier this year, hopes to make a double. He's in car number 15, and next to him, number 3, Ricky Rudd, former Rookie of the Year. In row 4, Tim Richmond, who won earlier in Riverside this year, car number 2, and next to him, Richard Petty. Car number 43, despite his fabulous career, has won only one Southern 500. That was 15 years ago. Row 5, Cale Yarborough. Car number 27, the only man ever to win this race 4 times. And next to him, Neil Bonnet, the defending Southern 500 champion. And we have a green flag. The race is underway, and the race to the first turn. It is David Pearson, and Bobby Allison tucks right in behind him, shutting off Darrell Waltrip. So Bobby Allison makes his move very, very fast in the start of this race, and it was a very good start, Jackie.
Very clean start indeed, very clean. But look, Allison's coming up on the inside going into turn 3. No, he doesn't make it. In fact, he's had to go very wide and lost a lot of ground there, as you can see, to David Pearson. The cars are well formed. It's a sort of follow my leader situation right now, which of course is absolutely right, as it should be. Remember, it's a 500-mile race and you don't win it in the first lap.
So it is Pearson, Allison, Waltrip, Earnhardt, and Ruttman has fallen back to 5th from the second row. These cars, by the way, are specially built race cars. They are not showroom models, although they do carry the name of the manufacturer. There's a good close-up of Dale Earnhardt, who won this race earlier in the year, the Rebel 500. Hopes to make it a double. He'd only become the 5th man in history to win both races in 1 year, held at the Darlington International Raceway. But right now, it's David Pearson. Coming into this race, has only won $17,000 in 4 races. But I'll tell you this, he is a man to be reckoned with on this particular racetrack. He's won here 10 times. 7 Rebels and 3 Southerns. Nobody can match that.
He's a remarkable man. The Silver Fox, they call him. He's a grandfather, and he drives like a young thing. And my goodness, does he have experience. And of course, experience is one of the most important ingredients in winning at Darlington. They call it the Lady in Black. It's a racetrack with basically only one groove around it. Very difficult to race here, very tight. Historically, a lot of incidents and accidents, and for 500 miles to keep out of trouble is indeed an art.
And it's just about the way they got into that first turn. It's Pearson, then Allison, then Waltrip, and now Allison goes to the inside, and he's got the lead from David Pearson. So Bobby Allison gets a great roar from all of his fans here in the stands, and we have a huge crowd on hand as he takes the lead as they come around turn 4. It's Allison, Pearson, and Waltrip now challenging Pearson for second place. As we mentioned earlier, it's an absolutely ideal day for racing. We don't know what effect it might have on the cars themselves, and as far as the drivers are concerned, believe me, when they got up this morning, they were very happy. There's a car in trouble. Car number 64, Tom Gale, in a spin. Tom Gale in car number 64 controlled it well. No problem, but the yellow flag is out.
Well, he must consider himself pretty lucky. He stayed away from that wall. It was well handled, though, but the car headed towards the wall. He overcorrected it, headed towards the wall again, and then went down the banking. He still kept control at this time. The problem is the cars behind him, because with that smoke, it's difficult for them to see him. They managed to find their way around them without getting contact. Lucky young man is Tom Gale, in fact. Hey, but we've got another problem in the front stretch. There's a car on fire.
That's car number 02, driven by Mark Martin, in flames, under the yellow. And he's still in the cockpit. Now the rescue workers are coming out to him. Look at the flame on top of the hood, Jackie, the paint burning there. And they pull him out. So, a dramatic incident here in the front stretch, but the driver is okay. And we'll be back in a moment.
Hey, I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm worried.
I can see that.
My insurance agent says annuities. My broker says stocks. It's confusing.
Talk to my IDS representative.
IDS?
IDS offers lots of ways to make your money work harder.
Really?
They start with your goals.
Oh.
And a financial plan that puts you in control.
IDS. I see.
Great. So can I.
Thank you.
IDS. Ideas to help you manage money.
Next time I'll get front row seats.
Of the American automobile is about to change. For Mercury is redefining the future of the American car. Mercury is redefining the shape, the handling, the power, the ride, performance. Mercury is redefining the quality and reshaping your view of the American automobile. Look and see what an American car can be. Look to Mercury. The substance shows.
Mark Martin's car is back in the garage area. They're going to try to get it repaired and back out onto the track because he's in the running for the Rookie of the Year award this year. David Pearson, however, is out of the race with a broken axle. In the lead is Darrell Waltrip, car number 11. Bobby Allison is in second place, and Cale Yarborough has moved up into third. And here's the battle for fourth and fifth. Number 50, Jeff Bodine, is in fourth place, and he's getting a challenge from Harry Gant in car number 33, who is currently riding in fifth place. And right behind him is the defending 500-mile champion of the Southern race. That is Neil Bonnet. And here is a car in trouble, and it is car number 44, Terry Labonte, who won this race 2 years ago, and very much in the Point Derby. Oh, what a tough break for him, Jackie.
Yeah, he spun out the yellow flag, and I'm afraid he's shortened the chassis of his car considerably. The likelihood of that car continuing is very remote. He had smote the wall very hard early on. He's sliding down the speedway right now, but you can see enormous damage to the rear end of the car. I would be very surprised indeed if they could repair that car to continue today.
The reason it's a tough break because he was very much in the running for the Grand National NASCAR Championship this year, coming into this race in second place behind Bobby Allison. Chris Economiki's down in the pit area with a word with him.
Can you tell us what happened, Terry?
The engine let go going into the first turn. I just backed in the wall.
Okay, on the way to the hospital is Terry Labonte.
And that, of course, is a mandatory visit to the hospital. He obviously is okay. Now we're going to get a green, and it'll be Bobby Allison, Darrell Waltrip, and look who's moved up into third place, car number 43, Richard Petty, the winningest driver of all time on the NASCAR circuit. But Jackie, he's had a drought for a long time.
In fact, he hasn't won a race in a whole year in 33 races. So Richard Petty in third position right now in the bright red and blue car is hungry for victory. It's the old brigade up there, though, that Bobby Allison, enormously fast today, been doing well this season. Then Darrell Waltrip tucked in behind him in car number 11, and then, of course, Richard.
The pace has been fast. The leaders have been running laps at better than 150 miles an hour. A lot at stake here as far as the purse is concerned, $336,000. Richard Petty making a challenge there. It's Allison, Waltrip, and Petty with Dale Earnhardt in fourth place. Earlier, Bobby Allison made this comment about how tough this track is.
Well, it's a tough racetrack here, Chris, and you have to race the track, but you have to race the other guys that are running good, too. You can't sit here and say, well, I'm sure those guys are going to have problems, because a lot of times they don't. Sometimes we've had a extremely clean race here, and other times it seems like everybody, including 3 bicycles and the ambulance and the wrecker, all are involved in pileups. So you really have to pay attention to what's going on today.
Bobby Allison is making a bid this year to become the 4-time winner of the Grand National Championship. Richard Petty has moved into second, and Darrell Waltrip has dropped way back, Jackie.
He must have a problem. Certainly he's dropped a long way back, because Dale Earnhardt's tucked himself in behind Richard Petty right now. So Dale Earnhardt, very talented driver, someone we expect to do very well in the future, and Richard Petty's making a move. He's alongside. He's got through. Richard Petty finds himself in the lead, and Dale Earnhardt's not letting it go at that either. He's having a try. He's very close to Allison. Allison sideways to came in contact. That could so easily have been a major accident.
You saw the smoke there coming as the cars actually touched, burning off a little bit of rubber. And now we have something a little more serious. There's a car up against the outside wall. 2 others have spun.
Yep, there's Jody Ridley there, and Ron Bouchard. At least 2 of those cars certainly had a problem. These cars limping their way back. That smoke, by the way, is the rubber smoke with the wheel arches jammed up against the tires. And that car is Ron Bouchard's car.
Shuffled quite a bit after that yellow caution flag. Darrell Waltrip is back in the lead. Dale Earnhardt in second. Dave Marcus, blue car number 71, has moved to third, and Cale Yarborough is fourth. Now, Jackie, bring us up to date on Darrell Waltrip getting back into the hunt.
Well, he had fallen back, as we all had seen earlier. He had gone into the pits twice, fortunately under the yellow, once to get a tire situation fixed up, the other time to top off with fuel. So he was a little bit out of the business, but right now he's going out of the business a little bit also, because Dale Earnhardt has just stolen first place from him.
And look on the inside, car number 71, the blue car, that's driven by Dave Marcus. He won earlier this year at Richmond, his first win since 1975. He is now challenging. And here comes Cale Yarborough in car number 27 on the inside, and he moves ahead of Marcus into third place on this high-banked oval. The super speedway, as they call it, Jackie.
Super speedways are generally associated with stock car racing. Of course, there are super speedways like the Indianapolis 500 racetrack, but this is a super speedway down south.
And the banking here is not as high as it is at Daytona, for instance. It's 18 degrees in the corner and 33 at Daytona. 43. Richard Petty is coming into the pits. This spells trouble, because it's a pit stop under the green. By the way, the first one we've had today with 8 yellow caution flags out.
While Richard's crew are waiting for him, a lot of action is changing inside rubber. They've been having a lot of trouble with the handling today. This racetrack is normally coated with a bear grease, as they call it. That bear grease hasn't been put on this time, and I think there's extra car wear because of this. It was a fast pit stop, but still, remember, it was under the green and very expensive. And there we've got a smoker. We've got Darrell Waltrip smoking, and he shut the engine off. When that smoke started there, the engine had blown. He switched off the electrics, and he's coasting round now. Bad break for him. It looks like the end of the day, perhaps.
NASCAR's 1981 Grand National Champion, Darrell Waltrip. Looks like he's through for the day. But here's an interesting race now for the lead. Dale Earnhardt, who won the Rebel race in the spring, being challenged by Cale Yarborough, making a bid to become the only man to win the Southern 500 5 times. Down the backstretch they go. And it is Cale Yarborough who takes the lead from nearby Timmonsville, South Carolina. Not very far from this track. Good racing right now as Cale Yarborough has gotten on top of Earnhardt, and he hopes to stay there for the remainder of this race. Now there's Darrell Waltrip back in the pit area, through for the day. Boy, he looks like a tired man, Jack.
Yeah, the eyes show a lot of tiredness. And here we've got Bobby Allison. He's in the pits, and we're under the green, so this is an expensive stop for Bobby. And remember, he's in this NASCAR Championship points race as well for the yearly title.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, too. If you were to ask somebody how much money Bobby Allison won in stock car racing last year, what do you think the answer would be? Well, it's $644,000, and that was not tops. Darrell Waltrip was tops with $691,000. So, Cale Yarborough in the lead, a $3.6 million winner in his career, and we'll be back in just a moment.
When an alkaline battery goes dead,
You throw it away and buy a new one.
It's been a very competitive race today. We've had 14 different leaders. And unless we have a yellow caution flag, they're going to have to go the rest of the way on the fuel they have on board. No more scheduled pit stops. In the lead is Cale Yarborough. In second place now is car number 75, Joe Ruttman. In third place, Dale Earnhardt in car number 15, and Bill Elliott is in fourth. Joe Ruttman's quite a story. He's Troy Ruttman's younger brother. Troy won the 1952 Indianapolis race, and Joe didn't get into racing until quite a late age, actually, the age of 30. He is now 37. What a big win it would be for him, Jack.
Well, it would be a great thing to win a superspeedway such as this down south, particularly Darlington, the old lady of the stock car trail. Certainly a race that everybody would like to win is this Southern 500. And of course, one man who would like to win it more than any, I suppose, is Cale Yarborough, because it would make 5 for him, and that's an amazing record.
He's the only 4-time winner of this event. Racing this year under a rather limited schedule. This is only his 13th race, and it's number 21 on the trail. And here comes number 88, Bobby Allison. He's not even going to stop in the pits. Jackie, he's going to the garage.
It does look as if the right-hand side of his car's been damaged. He may have been having contact with the wall there. But Joe Ruttman's got his car right out of shape. The car went sideways. This is a real problem for him. He gets past. He's low on the racetrack. Obviously, he's trying to regain speed right now, but that was expensive.
And now sailing along in the lead is Cale Yarborough. Dale Earnhardt moved into second place, and Ruttman has dropped back. Tough break for him. And here's Richard Petty coming into the pits under the green, and Richard was running fourth.
Again, he's getting inside rubber. He's obviously having a handling problem. They have been jacking the car around, and we've got... Oh, Joe Ruttman's really hit the wall this time. He got loose before, but now he's smashed into the wall. No, my goodness. And yet the car's still running. He's kept it running. Again, an enormous amount of smoke. The yellow flag is out, but that was a heavy contact there. You can see now in the replay here, the car is going around the corner, seems to be in shape, then suddenly the back end goes out. It could be that the transmission locked up, or there was an engine seizure. The big problem here is the smoke, the tar smoke for the cars coming behind. When you're down at track level, you literally cannot see 20 feet in front of you. Very tight.
So we've got a yellow flag out now, and we'll be back in a moment.
I'm about to show you something new for Intellivision that will revolutionize the way video games are played and compared. First, here's a popular Atari game.
We've had 2 yellow flags in a relatively short period of time. Here's Richard Petty, car number 43, coming up to speed after his second pit stop. He's currently at 4th place. When he pitted the first time under the green, he lost a lap and lost 4th position. Strangely enough, he's still in 4th. Here's how he was able to do it. Now, when the green was thrown on the restart, you see Richard Petty on the left side. He was entitled, under NASCAR rules, to move up alongside the leader on the inside. The leader at the time, Dale Earnhardt, who was still the leader. Ahead of him on the racetrack, however, is Petty, who has unlapped himself. He is still 1.35 miles down on this 1.36 oval. Earnhardt in the lead, and right behind him is Cale Yarborough. So Petty unlapped himself. Then, a half a lap later, another yellow flag came out because of a bottle being on the backstretch. So Petty was entitled to move up that entire mile and a few fractions into 4th place, and that's where he is right now. There he is, the car in 4th position on the outside. And we have a restart here, and the green flag is on. So a fortuitous set of circumstances has moved Richard Petty around that track, gaining him better than a mile in distance.
Well, Richard Petty certainly did have some luck, but you never get success in life without Lady Luck being on your shoulders. And for Richard Petty, he certainly had it right there. Right now, he's in contention because, as you can see from this picture, he's just not very far from the lead, in fact.
Richard is NASCAR's all-time leading money winner, $4.5 million and 195 wins. And he is still as competitive at the age of 45 as he was 20 years ago. But quite frankly, he's rankled that he has not won here in Darlington more. It's been 15 long years since he's won. He won the 1967 Rebel and the Southern that particular year. And here goes Cale Yarborough shooting by Dale Earnhardt into the lead. And now Earnhardt tries to get it back. Very competitive racing right now. And Richard Petty is right there, lurking, ready to pounce.
Richard Petty, in fact, has now got himself in into third position. That was a clean move by him. He followed through there and really got himself into position. There were 2x2 going along a racetrack that's really only designed as a one-lane racetrack.
Incidentally, Richard's son, Kyle, is in today's race at the age of 22. Not in contention right now, but it is certainly a very signal honor for this family. Cale Yarborough, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty. They'll go the rest of the distance on the fuel they have on board, and they have fresh rubber, so it could be a very, very tight finish, as have most of the races Jackie been this year on the NASCAR circuit.
Well, this is the great thing about NASCAR stock car racing, the closeness of racing. I think it's the closest in the world. Nowhere do I see motor racing as close as this, and close to the net of a 500-mile race to see 4 cars that you could almost cover by a handkerchief. That's a crowd pleaser.
21 different winners in 32 previous Southern 500s. That speaks well for the competitiveness. And here goes Richard. He's going to try to put a move on Earnhardt. He gets him at an impossible spot on the track.
He really gave him the chop. I don't know how he made it there.
And we'll be back with more in just a moment. There'll be no holding back now as we come down to the last few laps of the race. It is Richard Petty trying to put a move on Cale Yarborough. Richard, they've actually made contact.
They're rubbing all the way around the corner. They're side by side. Their tires are smoking. The bodywork's in contact with each other. Look at that. They're leaning against each other as they come down the backstretch. The crowd are on their feet cheering, and it's not out there. Dale Earnhardt's not out of this picture either. He could almost have sneaked through there also, but Richard Petty is now in the lead. But what a move. An incredibly courageous move. Let's see it again in slow motion. Going into turn 1, he moves up on Cale Yarborough. Yarborough did not move down. It was Richard who made the move, and he then gets the car really leaning against the Yarborough car. The smoke that you're seeing is tire smoke, bodywork touching tires as they go around there. What an amazing move.
I don't believe I've ever seen Richard Petty more aggressive. Perhaps it has gotten under his skin that he hasn't won here more often. But right now he loses the lead once again to Cale Yarborough and drops back into second, and always there, waiting in the background, hoping that one of these two is going to make a mistake, is Dale Earnhardt in car number 15.
Well, Cale Yarborough now really has to thread the needle. He's not allowed to make any mistakes because there's 2 men right at his heels, but he's certainly been pressed into possibly making a mistake by Richard Petty because of this aggressive driving that Richard's doing, and I must say that it is the first time that I've ever seen Richard Petty literally aggressive on the racetrack. He's always been the smooth, clean, calculated driver. Now he seems almost too intense. Quite amazing as they come out of turn 4, and he's got more contact again. He's in contact. He touched the back of Yarborough's car. He seems to be moving cars all over the racetrack to just make his way.
Well, J.D. McDuffie caught the front of that one in car number 70, one of the slower cars, forced almost down on the infield. Richard Petty pursuing Cale Yarborough. You'll remember when we began our program today, we showed you the race 2 years ago when Terry Labonte got through after a mishap to the top 3 ahead of him, and perhaps the strategy here. Oh, look at the bumping again.
Once again, I just can't believe it. The racetrack is very bumpy up there, and here we see a replay of that coming out of turn 4. This is partly the draft that does this. The air turbulence affects it, but certainly Richard Petty really came in contact with Cale Yarborough. It was an amazing piece of driving by Yarborough, even more amazing to save that because he could surely have spun off in front of the other cars. And of course, Earnhardt could easily have slipped through there too. He's still in this race, a real chance here. But look at the tire smoke. That's Richard Petty. The white flag is out. They've only got 1 lap to go, but Richard Petty's car got very loose in the rear end. The back end went out. The tire smoke was there. And did you see it again? The same tire smoke. Honestly, it doesn't look to me now as if Richard Petty can catch him. He's just given him too much racetrack.
Cale Yarborough must be breathing a little easier right now. He saw that happening in his rear vision mirror as he comes around. He's coming around to turn number 4, and he will get the checkered flag. It doesn't look like Richard Petty's going to be able to do it today. Everybody standing, waving on Cale Yarborough, his 5th Southern 500 victory. The 2 closest to him are Bobby Allison and David Pearson, each with 3. So he's put quite a distance between them. What an honor. So, Cale Yarborough is our winner. 2nd place goes to Richard Petty. 3rd to Dale Earnhardt. And 4th, Bill Elliott. We'll return in just a moment to talk with the winner, Cale Yarborough. Plus, an update on what's happening today in the sports world. And the conclusion of the International Gymnastics Championships from Rome.
Hey, Cale, if A.J. Foyt is watching, he's jealous, you know?
Well, I hope everybody in the world is, Chris. This Valvoline Beauty rants are good all day, and, you know, that's 5 of them. Nobody else has come close.
I know that. Cale, what do you think Richard Petty had for breakfast?
I don't know, but he was strong, but he wasn't quite strong enough.
What about this down here on your left front tire? Petty blue paint. All these marks on the side of your car. You know, you'd be like a professional wrestler, what?
That's Darlington battle stripes.
So another Southern 500 goes into the record books. Bill Fleming, Jackie Stewart, and Chris Economaki saying so long.